Hey guys, welcome to ANYALUX Spotlight. I am Anna and I'm so excited to have Alina Skyler here from Skyler Man, the designer and the founder of Skyler Man NYC Jewelry. So Alina, tell everybody a little bit about the birth or the need of the birth of Skyler Man.
Hi guys, thank you for having me on, Anna.
Absolutely.
So Skyler Man started about 12 years ago when I wanted to style my ears and body with safety pins. The need for it emerged from the need for real gold or silver, just real, precious metal jewelry that was safety pins. So I wanted that whole punk aesthetic, just to have like my ear full of safety pins, but I didn't want the store-bought safety pins. I wanted something in silver or gold.
Well, it didn't exist store-bought in silver or gold. It was hard to find.
Right, right. I couldn't find it anywhere. It was impossible. I don't want to say I pioneered the idea, but it wasn't out there. And I did my research, and I do a lot of research. There was really a deficit in the market for like edgy, streetwear sort of jewelry that was also, luxury and chic. And so I wanted it, and so I figured I would create it. I also had a little bit of a background in designing different kinds of jewelry. I did like beaded necklaces out of precious gems. And my mom
did the charm bracelets at one point.
Yes, so I was always dabbling in different jewelry, but here I kind of wanted this from scratch. I decided that.
So I'm sorry to interrupt, but just
it.
a little bit about Alina, and I've known Alina for many, many years. I think it's been about 20 years at this point. Alina is one of those people where she'll get a design or an idea into her mind, and she will literally go out there looking for it everywhere from eBay to vintage stores to high-end designers and luxury fashion to fast fashion. And if she doesn't see it, she's going to go, she becomes obsessed with it. And she goes and she creates it. So it could be a shirt, it could be, charmed. At one point there was vintage charms that you were collecting and making jewelry out of. It could be absolutely anything.
That was like more of like, it was a styling and putting things together. It was inspired by the Tiffany's look. It was very classy. And classic, but it also had like a very like edgy element to it. So, at the time, the one from Tiffany, for instance, was like all uniform, and it was chunky and it was layered. And so with mine, it was all different size pearls, white and pink mix. And so I had that background. And so when I wanted the safety pins made out of real precious metals, I couldn't find it in the market, and I decided to make it from silver. So I started dabbling with silver before gold, and then I quickly learned my lesson when I found out that silver was too soft of a metal to really kind of
it's the trial and errors of being an entrepreneur,
exactly.
I think, where a lot of times you have to fall a couple of times before you get back up.
Cut deeply.
I think it's important that if you have a dream and if you have a passion for something and if you have the opportunity to follow it, because a lot of times there are things that are going to weigh you down or bring you down, or you might learn from something where the metal isn't conforming to the way that you need it to form, or for me, it was a whole new, moving from New York to Florida, I was finding a whole new market where all my connections are in New York, but there's no such thing as no. It's really your drive, your motivation,
right,
to make it happen and to keep going, which is what happened with Skyler Man.
Right, you have to become obsessed with wanting to do something, and you can't really like give up just because it's not happening. You have to find a different way to make it happen. And so I still kept that whole idea of making jewelry with silver, but now I learned that my chunkier, bigger pieces are going to be made out of silver. For instance, Anna has this amazing ring, which was one of my first pieces. It's like this gigantic rose. Really, it looks like there's so many layers and elements to it, and it's got diamonds all over it. And pieces like that were made out of silver, but then the more daintier pieces, which is what the gold started with, the safety pins, stuff like that, we started making it from gold. It's all hand forged. We make the head out of an actual safety pin. We mold it because we wanted it to look super authentic.
We have any here, but I'm wearing a red bracelet that's like that, and I don't know if you might be able to see it. And then you have it also as a choker here.
On a chain. And then, well, this is one of the first pieces actually. So when the silver didn't work and we did the gold, I also kind of was inspired by the friendship pins of the 80s that kids would like, use safety pins and put different color beads on it and then gift it to their friends. I wanted to do it with different beads, precious stone beads, but then I found that it didn't look as good as I wanted it to. They weren't as small as I wanted them to be, and the small ones they weren't working well, and so I did it with pearls, and so that was basically like one of the first designs that kind of was really true to the brand Skyler Man. It's one of our best sellers, and it's still it's still up in the collection. I'm wearing it now. I don't think you can see it, but it's in Etsy and it's in SkylerMan.com. The Etsy shop is Skyler Man, one word. So it's basically a bunch of pearls on one side, and they're each pearl is hand drilled because we needed it to fit on the wire. We couldn't make the wire too thin because we wanted it to last forever. And the pearls naturally do not have a big enough hole, so we drilled each pearl is hand drilled, fit onto the pin. Everything is handmade. It's all handmade in New York.
That's basically the aesthetic of your jewelry. Like everything is pretty much hand done. A lot of molds are your molds, and they're true to Skyler Man. So where Alina is designing it, she does find, and you work with different merchants throughout Manhattan. Everything is done in New York City.
Yes.
It's all done in the jewelry district, 47th Street. So you kind of have an idea and you make it happen, which is true to a lot of your jewelry pieces. So
and
even
I want to say, if something doesn't work, like there are some pieces that I have this great idea for, and sometimes it doesn't work. We don't go forward with it. We don't sell pieces that don't work. We don't sell pieces that like break or are uncomfortable. We have to scrap it and move on.
Right.
And
so everything is rounded. So even though everything is, there is points to things, and you have a lot of that, it's still not sharp. So you're basically able to wear it. It's not getting caught on anything.
Well,
it's very easy
some
to
pieces
wear.
are sharp, but it's okay. I've tested them out on my own babies. So you know what? They stayed alive, so it's fine.
So there's a lot of mixed media that you're using as well, which is part of what I love about Skyler Man. So Skyler Man is one of those jewelry where it's really true to its style, and I think it's a woman that has the confidence to wear it and own it. We were speaking earlier about how you have to own your own style and your own look. I have many mood swings when it comes to styling myself. So
you should, right?
Anywhere from florals to all black to a little bit more punk or darker to super light and white lace and all of that. And I think that's what Alina's jewelry is. You're kind of able to layer it into no matter who you are as an individual when it comes to styling yourself, you could pretty much layer your pieces because you can go as stacked or as simple as you want it. So there's a lot of very much dainty pieces, and then you have the bolder pieces. But overall, it's not that bold. It's literally the stacking that makes it bolder and chunkier, which I think is so important.
So I love that look where like I just stack it up and I mix things that traditionally shouldn't have been mixed, but now it's like all the rage.
Well, there's no rules to fashion now, so there's no specific trend or anything like that. You have athletic wear, you have, your punk wear, you have your
and everything looks good together.
And everything looks good together, right? So it's mixing and matching.
Yeah. And so, a lot of people come and they're scared to, mix and match, and they're scared to mix metals and do like silver with gold or white with rose gold, and then once we get them in there, they love it because they like the way that it looks on somebody else. They're just kind of like scared to make that first move. And so, we style them and then they love it. And then you kind of like, you feel more comfortable in your own skin when you're able to kind of like be
own
set free.
Your look.
Yes.
I think that's the most important thing as an image consultant, as part of what fashion, what ANYALUX offers is you have to own your look, whatever that may be, and you have to be comfortable in that look. Because if you're not comfortable with what you're wearing, you're never going to be comfortable inside. So no matter what shape you are, no matter what body type you are, how tall, how short, color, whatever it is, there's really something for everyone, especially at this point. You have, your pointy shoes, your round toe shoes, your platforms, your thin heel. I mean, there's so much out there, and everything goes in fashion, which I think is amazing. But let's talk a little bit about stacking, because I think stacking is a huge part of style. So for me, when it comes to stacking, and I've been doing this from college, I think from when I could remember, I always like to invest into pieces like a gold piece of jewelry as opposed to the custom pieces. Now don't get me wrong, I have a lot of custom pieces as well, but what I love about this is that it's going to last a lifetime and it's going to tell a story. Because it is lasting a lifetime, I could look at any of my jewelry pieces and say, you know, I saved up for this while I was working as an account executive for a denim brand, and I bought this for myself. So you can always start with just one piece, you know, with a brand that you love. Obviously, Skyler Man is the brand that you should love. So, you know, you start with one piece, and then you could kind of layer it on. So when there's holidays or birthdays, you could keep stacking and layering.
And it's important that each piece looks good on its own, and that's like really like what I try to pursue. I don't make any like fluff pieces. Each piece, like I will go out very easily in this safety pin choker, which is like one of the staples, and I wear it all the time. I never take it off, and sometimes, you know, I just leave the house just like that, and it's very simple and just like a little extra like shiny bling, like when I move my neck, you know, and it looks great. And then other times I like layer it on. So I put chunky mixed with, you know, just dainty.
Well, let's get to to layering necklaces.
Okay.
So with layering rings, I think it's very easy because you could do many things with it. You know, you could do it as a mini if you wanted to, where it's now sitting on this part of your finger. You could do it as a stack, and again, you could wear it individually. So if you're doing something really simple in your life and you don't want to be too showy, you could do it as one piece. So what are these stones? Because you use a lot of very similar but different stones.
Right.
So
I use a lot. So
is it opals that you love?
We use a lot of opals and we use a lot of diamonds. I think those are the two main stones. We also use a lot of emeralds, but we'll get to that in a minute. I just want to talk about the diamonds that we use are obviously regular, plain, traditional white diamonds. We also use black diamonds. We invert the black diamonds a lot. That goes back to like the beginning of the brand. That's how we first started using diamonds, is we would use black diamonds and then we would invert them so it had that like, you know, pointy effect. We basically made spikes out of diamonds. It's like a spiky, edgy,
so I don't know if you could tell here. And you do a lot of engagement rings, right?
Yeah.
You do a lot of...
We do. People have, I don't know if you could see that, but people have loved the plain black. It's like a traditional solitaire black engagement ring, but you know, the stone is large. And it sits on a pointy, it's got a pointy prong setting, and it sits super high. So it's like, it's classic, but it has a little bit of an edge. And I think that's the whole idea behind Skyler Man, is that we really incorporate a lot of classic elements, and things are, and pieces are very classy as well. And then we kind of put like a modern twist on them, so they're like a little bit edgy, so that they tell their own story. And like we want them to, you know, incorporate the past and also kind of pave a way for a future. That is the goal. We don't want them to ever go out of style, and I don't think that they ever will. So,
and everything is super edgy too, yet staying, you know, still classic and staying true to the brand. So you're gonna find a lot of pieces that have kind of like a crown feel to it.
There's a lot of crowns. There's a lot of flowers.
There's a lot of skulls as well.
Skulls. I forgot about that.
This is great. This is. The Skyler Man male client, the guy loves these pieces as well, because they're chunkier, they're bulkier, and they're very different. Like, you're not seeing this anymore. I feel like this existed. There was a time in the 80s where it was cool to wear skulls, it was cool to wear chunky rings, and then it kind of went away, where Alina was able to kind of bring that aesthetic back, but make it her own, make it true to the Skyler Man DNA. And it's selling well. I mean, people love it. All of these have black diamonds in them.
Yeah, black diamonds,
as well
white
as
diamonds in the eyes, right. And so black diamonds and white diamonds are big. What's huge also right now, just like even in the market, and we love these, are just like different diamonds, like salt and pepper diamonds, rose cut diamonds, rough diamonds, and we use those a lot. Diamond slices. Now, I don't think you could see it, but I'm wearing a ring here with a diamond slice, and that's just surrounded by regular traditional white diamonds. This is another ring that is a diamond, sort of like a slice. It's a little bit different than a slice, slightly chunkier, but that's what's so cool about diamonds, is that they're all individual, they're all unique. And so, you know, we take that
no diamond
element.
Is alike.
No diamond is alike, right?
No
exactly.
stone is alike.
Exactly. Even if diamonds are cut similar, they're never going to be two that are exactly alike when you're talking about real diamonds, you know. And then there's manufactured diamonds, that's a totally different story, but we don't do that. Also, we like to work a lot with opals, love opals. So we have a lot of just like, we use a lot of marquee opals because those produce like a lot of shine. They're super, super like, they produce a lot of different colors. They're blues and greens. The hues are incredible. I don't think you'll be able to see it, but maybe. But anyway, what we started using also is, and this is like a totally new thing. It's very rare in the market. It's hard to find it. It's a faceted opal. So it's basically, traditional opals are more cabochons, so they're like rounded. The faceted opal is an opal stone that's cut with like gradients, like it looks like a diamond. It's cut like a diamond, so it's like flat on top, and then it's got like, you know, the diamond edges. It's amazing. It's a beautiful stone, and we have several rings right now. And again, no two are exactly the same. They produce a really nice holographic effect.
I have this cool ring too, which is your traditional brass knuckle, and you have, it's kind of cool.
It's a double finger ring.
It's a double finger ring, excuse me. And it's cool because you have your square cut, you have your rounds.
Yeah, we mix a lot of things in there.
You mix a lot of things, and then you have different stones on it. You're mixing, you know, your precious stones.
So we don't really work a lot with like so many different stones, but we did here. I call this ring the candy bar because it's a bar and it just reminds me of like a lot of different candies. So you have everything in here from like a purple amethyst to a yellow citrine, black diamond, white diamond, pink diamond, purple amethyst.
And the diamond is upside down, so it's staying again true to your DNA. So
yeah,
SkylerMan
the
DNA.
Pink tourmaline. There's like a lot of going on here. Blue iolite. It's just a cool ring. Now we don't really do that. Like we usually stay more on just like with the diamonds and opals, but you know, every now and then we like to veer out of, you know.
Okay, so let's talk about, so very true to SkylerMan is that Alina loves mixing earrings, which for me, I'm more of a traditional style, or if I do long, I need to have long on the other side.
I will never match earrings.
Where, I don't, it's not necessarily matching, but I mean like the length of it has to match. So I think this is really cool. Alina got me out of my comfort zone. And again, this is something that I love. I've styled it on other people, but I'm kind of really enjoying this look right now that you did, which
I don't know if you
have it as well.
We are matching earrings, but they're mismatched earrings. Actually, this is a set which is mismatched.
So I would wear this as a set, I think. I would wear this on this ear and this on this ear.
I would actually wear this as a set as well, only because it's already mismatched. Don't get me wrong. I do have some sets. Like I have, this is a set, and it's very pretty, it's dainty, it's classy.
This is one of my favorites.
You know, yes. So sometimes if like I'm going to a wedding, maybe I'll wear a set, but on my everyday basis, I just like to take out one earring, put in another. But I made this mismatched set, and I put one in my ear, one in Anna's, and mine ends with a safety pin, and hers ends with a snake. So even still, they're a little bit mismatched. Loving these right now. They're super cool.
And then I have a pearl in this ear, which I find to be also really cool.
So this
Am I wearing a pearl?
Yes, you are. It's so we do this a lot, and these are all handmade. And my manufacturer does such a fantastic job with this because we made sure this is a diamond on top, and I'm not even going to take it off. But the point is, it screws on and off, and so it screws, and then the whole earring comes out, and that's the way that you fasten it. Is you kind of like it's like a half a barbell.
So
you put it in and you fasten it.
You could wear this as a belly ring. You could wear this. Alina has
my conch piercing over here, and so I did also that half barbell with the diamond that screws on and off.
So and this was a need also.
It's very secure. This I wear it everywhere.
But wait, talk about the need for it, because you got this piercing a while back, and you had a hard time finding an earring that works, which is how this earring was actually.
And I have actually lost hoops in this piercing, and I lost studs in this piercing because it's a hard piercing to outfit, you know, and everything moves around. But you know, finally I was like, you know, let me put in one of these like hoop barbells in, and I screwed in the diamond, and this is like the most secure thing ever. So again,
and it's also comfortable.
Super comfortable. It doesn't look like it is because it's chunky, but that's like the great effect of it.
So there's a lot of different options with the jewelry that you are producing.
And so, well, we also make sure that our pieces are comfortable. They're actually wearable. They're not just like show pieces, even though they look like they're, you know, they're chunky and they're legit, but they're still super comfortable. And also, again, the manufacturing of them is really what we take pride in. The stem here is super long, and so like the screw doesn't just go in two twists. Like we'll twist and twist to make sure that it's not going to come off. So it's a really secure.
Because the worst thing you could do is invest into a piece of jewelry
and lose it, right? Or break it. And so, like, you know, here's another thing. A lot of people, you know, they like to buy things in the marketplace that, you know, they're different price points. And I just want, like, you know, a lot of people need to understand that you really do get what you pay for most of the time. So, you know, there's like a lot of dainty jewelry out there, for instance, and this isn't just, you know, true to my brand, but like a lot of
if you're investing, just know what you're investing into, because you want to make sure that the quality is there.
There's different kinds. So there's different kinds, for instance, of dainty like rings. So like you can have a ring which will have a dainty band, but there are different dainty bands. For instance, there's a dainty band that could be 0.35 on the scale of the thickness of the gold, and then there could be one that's 0.60. Totally two different things. The 35 you can just go like that and bend, and the 60 you can't bend at all and it's not going to break.
Okay, let's quickly talk about layering necklaces. So I personally love to layer necklaces. I do it for a lot of my clients.
She looks.
We do it a lot with SkylerMan jewelry as well.
Yes.
So what is the rule of thumb when it comes to layering necklaces?
The rule is there are no rules. You know, sometimes you want to start with like, well, I always have this piece on and then I layer everything else above it, because like you start with the shortest piece and then you kind of want to create a ladder. So now in Alina's case, these two pieces are the same length at the bottom, but there's an ending to it. So you have your short, you have a piece that kind of ends here. I hope everybody could see it. And then you have a piece that ends here. So that's kind of the idea of layering necklaces, is to have different levels to it, and also different thicknesses. You want to play with the thickness of the necklace as well. And it looks so much fun when you play with thicknesses.
Could we talk about this thickness, because I think it's absolutely amazing. Yes. This is new.
This is new. We're really using a lot of the elongated oval chains or links. And just as an example, here is, you know what, let me see your hand. Yeah. Here is like a dainty version of that. It's an elongated oval chain. It's dainty and it's a delicate piece, but it's not like, it's like legit. Like it's like, you know, decent gold. You can definitely see it.
Put it on, it's really beautiful on, and it's great for layering. So you're seeing a lot of layered bracelets as well. And this is a great piece to layer. It goes with a watch, and then you could put on a chunkier, you know, you could even do like a thick cuff.
But even still like this, it's really even substantial on its own, you know? It's got a lot of like, the chain is super cool, and then you have a star, a crescent moon, and a diamond. And here is back to this chain. This is like the small version. This is the large version. So this is the double extra large chain.
It's beautiful.
And it has one of the links, just to offset it, is a snake with a diamond eye. And then so snakes is the original Skyler Man. You used to do a lot of snakes. Like I feel like this I've seen 10 years ago. Yeah, that was from 10 years ago. That's like an old piece, but still love it, because the tail goes, as the loop, it goes into the ear. So yeah, that one has a ruby eye. But currently we're doing these extra large links, and so we incorporated it into this necklace, which is like a lariat. We created this gear as the midpoint, and then from here we have a safety pin with a little diamond in it.
It's a lot of details.
A link, a special link that we created with another diamond, and then we have this diamond pave star, which is like, it's like sideways and off center. It's a little bit.
So it's actually one of the things that I love most about your jewelry. It seems very simple, but when you really take a look at it, there's so much detail that goes into it. There's always a star, there's always a finish, there's always a beautiful aesthetic to it, and it's always very much true to your DNA of who you are as Skyler Man. So I remember you first starting, and I was helping you at that time to create like your visual lookbook or whatever, and pretty much looking at that jewelry, you're still seeing that DNA very much true to itself.
Gothic glam or something? I mean, that's like
But that's what you are. You're gothic glam.
Yes.
So you're not complete goth, but you have, you have very much a more modern. You created your own look, basically. This is your look, and that's the jewelry that you're producing, but you're still thinking about everyone. So before we finish the video, what is something you want to share with the viewers that you think is important for them to know when it comes to style and jewelry, style specific?
Okay, well, I just, want to say, you don't be afraid. I feel like everybody loves the way somebody else looks in unique pieces. you know, and everyone, that's like something I hear over and over again is like, oh, I wish I could pull this off, or, you know, you can pull this off, but I can't, or she looks great in that, I wish it looked good on me. And then so when I go and style somebody in the look that they like on somebody else, they realize that it really does look good on them too, and then they go for it. So don't be afraid. It's
Owning your
fashion,
look. You
it's
have to
jewelry,
own your
it's
look.
fun. Right, exactly. What was that word that we used before?
Stay
The
consistent.
commitment.
Commit to your look. That's what it
Commit to your
was.
look. And we spoke about this earlier, and I thought this was brilliant, because that would kind of be the difference between, you know, buying and owning a luxury piece of jewelry versus
Well,
like
anything. It doesn't have to be jewelry. It could be invest into yourself,
Right.
invest into your wardrobe.
But particularly with jewelry, when it goes back to like the safety pin, when I wanted that like gold safety pin, as opposed to like getting a custom one, or, you know, a plain steel one from a store that I could just buy like around the corner. So the whole purpose of spending a little bit more is, you know, you're kind of like, you're investing in yourself and you're owning that look.
And also, jewelry never depreciates. I mean, it only increases in value.
Oh my God. When I
Diamonds,
first
the same
started, I
thing.
think gold was literally half price. It was, no, I wouldn't say half, but very close to it. And now, you know, in the fluctuation in the market right now, when it goes up a little bit, it was actually half price before. So it would have been a great investment. And you're right, it's not a throwaway piece. But more importantly, without even the monetary value of it, it's like you are basically saying to the world that like, I am so certain and confident in my look and my style that like I am willing to invest in this piece because this piece speaks true to how I look, who I am.
Okay, guys, so we're gonna leave you with that. Thank you, Alina, for joining.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. We're obviously doing it with beer. Alina's favorite beer.
Love it.
This is like a commercial with the cool stuff. And if you do want to buy these pieces, please feel free to reach out to me or to Alina at SkylerMan.com, as well as on her Etsy account. And thank you so much for joining us. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
being here, Alina.
Thank you so much. I love
Yes,
you.
for
And
sure.
follow the Instagram because we have a huge collection that's coming out, or it actually came out, but it's rolling out on Instagram. Especially with the chunky pieces, because we're going that route right now. Things like this, the ball and chain necklace on the elongated extra large links. Yeah, follow us, and there's like a ton of super fun pieces for layering and not layering. You'll love it.
So treat yourself, buy yourself a gift.
Oh,
Buy
treat
Skyler
yourself.
Man.
Yeah, hashtag treat yourself.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.